The Jays, the Dodgers. Game 5 of the World Series goes tonight with the series locked up at 2 games apiece. We have live coverage from L.A.
And live coverage continues here at home at the Rogers Center, which has been maybe the biggest party in the city when the team's on the road. We'll go there soon.
And in other news, we are following a shelter-in-place order for Port Colborne. It's been lifted, but police are still looking for their suspect. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan continues our live coverage this hour.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening. I'm Bakari Savage.
And I'm Phil Perkins. You're watching Live at 5.
Well, it's official. The World Series will be decided in Toronto. This is after the Blue Jays won Game 4 in Los Angeles last night to even the series at 2 wins apiece, forcing at least a Game 6.
Yeah, and if they win tonight, Game 5 at Dodger Stadium, they can actually hoist the trophy on Halloween at home. Let's go live to CTV's Raheem Ladani, who is at Dodger Stadium. Raheem, I know Sports Talk Radio is big in La La Land. What are fans saying? What are the media saying about yesterday? What I think was a very business-like victory for the Blue Jays.
They'll be on the field for the next 45 minutes or so.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Bakari. Yeah, you know what? When you talk to the U.S. media, what they're saying is that the L.A. Dodgers suffered from a hangover from the 18-inning game. But when you look at the Blue Jays on the other side, there was no hangover. They were fresh. They were fresh as can be. They answered the call. Let's make no mistake about it. Yesterday was a must-win game for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they followed Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was their leader. He's a leader in the dugout, and he's been a leader on the field throughout this postseason. That third-inning home run against Shohei Ohtani, that was huge for several reasons, not just because it put the Jays up 2-1 in the game, but also because of who hit the ball. It quieted the home LA Dodger crowd. You could hear Go Jays Go chants sprinkled out throughout the rest of the game, and the Jays started cooking after that. Shane Bieber really settled in after giving in the first pitch, after giving up the first run. He was giving nasty stuff, and then the Jays went back to doing what they do best, and that is playing small ball. In the 7th inning, they put up 4 runs. Ernie Clement base hit, Bo Bichette base hit. He has really answered the call. We all know Bo's not 100%, but every time he steps to the plate, even though he's been batting third yesterday with George Springer not playing, he has been delivered and is such a clutch player. Now for the Toronto Blue Jays, it's focusing in on Game 5 tonight because, as you mentioned, we already know that they're sending the series back to Toronto. That's one check in the box, but how about going back to Toronto with a 3-2 series lead? That would be such a momentum swing, knowing that you have 2 cracks to host that World Series championship trophy. However, we're in LA. You're playing the Dodgers. This is not a slouch team. This is an impressive team, and the Dodgers know that it's all business today. They need to come out and deliver because they don't want to go back to Toronto, be down 3-2 in the series, and know that they have to go play in front of that Rogers Center crowd. So Freddie Freeman spoke to the media very recently this afternoon. Have a listen to what Freddie's feeling right now.
Just get some hits, get guys on, work the count, get guys on, move them first to third, get them in. Kind of like what we did in the 2nd inning yesterday. We just need to continue that over and over and over again. You got to put pressure on them. If we're going up there just trying to hit home runs, that's just not the name of the games.
About an hour's time.
On the mound tonight, Savage versus Snell. We've seen them both in Game 1. Neither of them had their best stuff. However, Savage still was able to manage to get the Toronto Blue Jays their win. He's a 22-year-old rookie, and he says, listen, I understand I'm a rookie in the World Series. I understand the weight of this moment, but he also referenced the fact that he feels the support from his clubhouse, and that's one of the reasons why this moment, this potentially hostile crowd isn't overwhelming to him. And so expect Savage to have a great game tonight, and expect Snell also to recover after his performance in Game 1 where the Jays tagged him for several runs. It's going to be a fun one, a lot on the line. The World Series championship trophy, that's not being handed out tonight, but it is traveling to the Rogers Center, and both teams are hoping to have a 3-2 series lead when they land in Toronto on Friday.
That'd be great. Hey, you know what would really help is having George Springer, Raheem. I saw some tweets that he was out there running and hitting batting practice. Did you get a look at him? Did you read some body language at all?
So we haven't heard from John Schneider just yet in terms of an update from George Springer. The Jays are going to be taking some batting practice very shortly after the Dodgers here. But we know that George Springer was hour to hour yesterday. He ended up not playing. Even if George does play, he's not going to be 100% because he's been banged up for most of the postseason. But it is the postseason, and everybody's playing hurt. So unless he's injured, he will be playing, right? Because everybody plays hurt in the postseason. But even if he's not on the field, you saw him in the dugout yesterday. He was there talking with Vladdy, and they were having some conversations. He's a big part of this team. He's a leader. And so if the Jays know that even if he's close, they'll want to win for him, right? That's the type of team this team is, right? They're a glue team. They're friends off the field. And so, Phil, whether he's playing, whether he's not, George Springer is a huge part of this team.
Okay, live from Dodger Stadium in LA, CTV's Raheem Ladani. Thanks a lot. Well, there's another sold-out watch party. It's happening tonight at Rogers Center.
Yeah, let's go live to CP24's Arda Zakarian. The lineup started hours ago, Arda. Like, this is the place to be because it's accessible. $15 just to get in.
How amazing is that? You know, they're not going to fill out the entire Rogers Center because everybody needs to watch the screen. So those that are lucky, though, did grab a seat. And I'm sure it's incredible inside. With me right now are the stars who are outside the Rogers Center. Here's Alex, Mark, and Jason. Thank you, guys. I know I was practicing their names. So tell me about being here, this moment right now. What is that like for you?
Honestly, it's surreal. Like the last time the Jays were in the World Series like this, I was 1. So it's super exciting to actually be here and witness it for myself.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Mark?
Same. I was just like 2 years old when they won the series in '93, and it's just so exciting. My goodness.
No, it is, Jason.
I was in high school, so I remember it quite well. And we're going to do it again, and let's just get it done. Bring it back home and get it done.
What do you think they need to do to win this next one? I mean, we do pretty well with the away games.
Everything that they're doing, just sticking together as a team, getting it done, playing small ball, just getting it done.
Yeah, for sure. What is it like for you to relive those moments that you did in high school?
It's a little bit different now. I'm a little calmer than I was back then, but nevertheless, it's intense. It's pretty crazy.
I know, it is wonderful. I'm sure you didn't remember anything when you were 2 and you're 1, but you heard the stories.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, no, we've got my parents have a picture of the Joe Carter walk-off Grand Slam. So in the basement, so that's like our pride and joy right there.
And to be living that now, I mean, having that, what is that like for your parents too?
Oh my God, they are jealous watching from the TV. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah.
Have you been inside ever? Have you, Mark, been inside the Rogers Center during these away games, or is this your first time? First time. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you imagine that atmosphere to be like?
It's gonna be a wild party, especially if the Blue Jays go up 3-2 tonight. Let's go!
Yes, yes. I mean, now it's a best-of-3 series, so it's anybody's game, and for sure we're not letting the Dodgers go off easy at all. We're giving them not a chance. Right?
Not a chance. We got it.
Lay off, Dodgers.
Winning it at home. Winning it at home.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate all you guys. Have an amazing time tonight here at the Rogers Center. So if you're lucky enough, you're wondering where should I watch? Well, any bar really would do. I'm sure you're gonna have an amazing time. But the people here at the Rogers Center, maybe a smidgen more. Back to you.
Hey, Arda, what happened to all that Jays merch you had your hands on earlier?
Oh, so I got some orders for some
Yeah.
they were watching. They're like, oh, I want this, I want that. So I filled in some orders for some people. The ones that I liked, I put back. I have enough merch, I think. How much Jay's merch is too much, though?
Never know. I just
Maybe
had some
that's like a
mailed to me
rhetorical
today.
question.
You can never have enough. These are artifacts. I
Oh,
can never
get it.
have enough
Artifacts.
Jay's merch.
Artifacts.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
That's really cute, guys. Okay.
Okay,
From now on, I can get that. That's I accept.
CP24's Arda Zakarian live outside of the Rogers Center. Well, Blue Jays fans, they're also going to be gathering at Nathan Phillips Square tonight to watch the team try to move a little bit closer to the World Series title.
Yeah, for more on the viewing party, let's say hello to CP24's Andrew Brennan. These guys and gals, even bigger fans, because they're out in the elements watching this, Andrew.
And wait, this is free 99.
Oh, if it's free, it's me, and I'll take 3.
Oh.
Yeah, it's free, but yeah, it's gonna be. Listen, there's no heaters here. I just want people to know what you're getting in for. This is for those who are dedicated, and also a gang of Quebec tourists. Merci la gang, bonne journée. But Let's go, Blue Jays! Merci encore. Bonne journée. Wait. Why are they going that way? Why are you going that way? Okay, we did have people here. That's fine. That's fine. See, he can't talk back to me. That's the best part because he doesn't talk. So, We're live on TV right now. So, don't use that word live on TV either. But that's okay. But thank you. Have a good day. So, moral of the story is we did have people. Now we don't have people, except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And of those 5 people, I'm guaranteeing you're the only one who's definitely staying for the game. You're staying? Okay, we're going to interview you then. All right. Are you excited to watch the game tonight?
Yeah. Let's hopefully they can get through the second, third round or 5th round. Let's see if they can get through.
I'm sure this is the 3rd round for us.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how many rounds. It's really getting to the end. You want them to get to the end.
Yes, I want them to get to the end. It's been so long since they got to the end, so let's see how far they can get to.
Thanks, man. Fist bump. Boom.
Go Blue Jays, go.
Go Blue Jays, go. All right. So, this is for the arguably dedicated. And, there's other reasons why people would be chilling to watch at Nathan Phillips Square. There are other viewing parties. I'll send it back to you both, though. But later on, if you got time for me, I'll let people know if you're in Mississauga, Brampton, U of T campus. There's a few other places that you can go if you want to let your emotional core warm you up as you cheer on these Blue Jays. Anyway, back to you. I'm cold.
Yeah, go get a hot chocolate or something from one of those trucks. All right, thanks so much, Andrew Brennan at Nathan Phillips Square. Let's check in on traffic right now. The first time I haven't spoken with Adrian and Celia Yabwa since they opened up the Gardner. Has that been helping at all?
It is. You know what has actually been helping? It's been a lighter than normal commute. So if you're making your way out, things are going to be a little bit better. Headed towards the Toronto-bound lanes of the QEW, though. We'll start there, not on the Gardner. We are dealing with a collision. This is not going to help you. Really, really slow as you make your way through Cawthron because that right lane is out, and this is what it's doing to the drive. It's pretty backed up now from well before Hurontario. Then northbound on the 427, just north of Derry Rexdale. You'll find the center lane blocked. That is following a collision, and even more problems. Westbound on the 401, not a picnic if you're making your way across. It's a slow go. Westbound 4 and Express through Weston. 2 left lanes out with this ongoing multi-vehicle crash. It is rush hour to be expected. The big backup extends from well before Warden. Outside of camera view, a slew of problems. Southbound 400 at Lloydtown Aurora Road. Crews on scene of a stalled vehicle that does have the left lane blocked. Also crews dealing with a collision happening out through Woodstock on the westbound 401, westbound 43 at the 401. All lanes are blocked. I'll send it back to you.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
It's 5:12, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Well, coming up, some scary moments for people living in Port Colborne who were asked to shelter in place today for a police investigation. We'll go to Niagara Region live. Welcome back. Let's go to Niagara Region right now. Police in Port Colborne were searching for a 27-year-old suspect. Residents were asked to stay inside and lock their doors for the day.
Let's go live to CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryan. He has been in that area, Port Colborne, all day long. Steve, what is the very latest you have for us?
Well, we just learned that Niagara Regional Police now have this 27-year-old Brady Neff in custody. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, police released his photo saying that he was wanted on a firearms charge. And now we've learned that not only is he in custody, he was arrested just down the street from where we are right now at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We now learn that the homicide squad is now taking care of the investigation. So this ties in neatly to the first address that the police are at this morning over on Ferris, which is 1 street away from where we are right now. They responded to an address there at 6 o'clock this morning. Whatever they found in there, they made that a crime scene. Clearly, that was a homicide scene. And then they were looking for the suspect, this guy Neff. And we're showing the B-roll now as to where police thought he was, and that was 1 street over on Mitchell, where we are right now. It was at 1 o'clock this afternoon that the tactical team was able to get into that address, and they were satisfied that he wasn't there. They cleared that address, and then they released his photo, saying that he was wanted for a firearms offense. And now we learned that he has been arrested. He is in custody, and it's now an investigation being done by the homicide squad.
Okay, so also, Steve, you got to walk us through all of this. There was that shelter in place that concerned a lot of people. There was the warning to parents from police.
first and foremost, public safety is paramount when it comes to any police investigation. So credit to the Niagara Regional Police. They let the neighborhood know almost immediately that people should shelter in place, including the schools. And that's because they had reason to believe that this suspect was inside of this home here on Mitchell Street, which is one street away from what we now believe is a homicide scene. So although they were active in this investigation trying to track this guy down, they did advise the local citizens here, the residents, to shelter in place because they were concerned that this man was armed and dangerous. So that trumps anything else. Yes, the investigation is important. All homicide investigations are critical, of course, but public safety is paramount, and that's what the Niagara Regional Police did here today by advising everybody to stay inside, schools included, while they actively look for this guy who they, again, believed was armed and dangerous.
All right, that is Steve Ryan, live in Port Colborne. Thanks so much. Appreciate the work. All right, well, a British Columbia man has been arrested in connection with 4 sexual assaults in southwestern Ontario in the 1990s.
OPP sharing this photo. This is Jason Timothy Davidson from 1996, as well as an image of the 52-year-old. This was taken after he was into custody in BC earlier this month. So police say that the assaults happened in Lambton County, Kent County, and Sarnia between March and August of 1997. 3 of them involved girls between the ages of 15 and 16. Davidson is facing 15 charges, including aggravated assault, sexual assault causing bodily harm, sexual assault with a weapon, and kidnapping.
And a Canada-wide warrant for second-degree murder has been issued for a Sault Ste. Marie man police think maybe in Toronto or the GTA.
Yeah, this is who police are looking for. 52-year-old Scott Devlin. He's wanted for a killing that happened in June. So he's also facing a charge of indignity to a dead body. He's described as being 5'10" with a thin or medium build and blonde hair. He has tattoos of a panther and the word sinner on one arm and the word saint on the other. He was last seen in the area of Billy Bishop Airport.
It is 5:18, 11 degrees. You're watching Live at 5.
Hurricane Melissa has left a trail of destruction in the Caribbean. We're going to have the latest on the aftermath of the storm. Hurricane Melissa, it's left a trail of destruction across Cuba, Jamaica, and Haiti.
Hundreds of thousands remain in shelters in eastern Cuba where the storm made landfall as a Category 3. Details of the damage in Cuba are not available, but the country's president warns it could be substantial, adding so many things have just blown away.
Yeah, at least 40 deaths were reported in Haiti, with many of those in the country's southern region. Haiti's been hit hard by rain and flooding from the hurricane.
And drone video shows the extent of the flooding and damage in southwestern Jamaica. Trees and power lines were knocked down and many homes were destroyed. Nearly 80% of the island was without power earlier today, and officials are reporting a total communication blackout on the western side of the island. 8 deaths have been reported in Jamaica, with police investigating other unconfirmed deaths.
Well, here in the city, those with family and friends back home, they're struggling to get in contact with their loved ones.
Many say they haven't heard from their relatives. As we mentioned, telecommunications still down. Michael Ryan's niece lives in Kingston. He says while she doesn't appear to have been hit hard, damage to the places he used to call home is severe.
I'm just turning on my thing to go and check and see what's happening after the aftermath and all these things, because I keep checking on them every day. I follow them, you know. Follow what's going on with the storm, Montego Bay, Kingston, Spanish Town. I'm really from Old Harbour. And I see what's going on in Old Harbour Bay. Those are my kids' playground, those places. You know, I used to go to the beach with my mom to sell fish and buy fish. And when I see what's happening to Old Harbour Bay, it shook me up. Yeah, because, you know, it's very devastating. And I hope they can get their life back together after this. Because it's not pretty, it's not easy. Yeah.
A donations drive is being held. This is going to be Saturday at 1672 Eglinton West. Items needed are first aid kits, hygiene and clothing items, flashlights, non-perishable food items, as well as supplies for babies and infants.
It is 5:22, 11 degrees. You're watching Live at 5.
Well, the Bank of Canada has cut its benchmark rate. We're going to have the latest reaction coming up.
Welcome back. Well, the Bank of Canada has cut its benchmark rate by another quarter point to 2.25%.
It's the second straight cut. This is after the rate dropped to 2.5% last month. Annual inflation, it rose 0.5 point to 2.4% in September. The economy showing cracks in the face of U.S. tariffs. The Bank of Canada is also releasing updated economic forecasts for the first time since January. And BLC Governor Tiff Macklem, he talked about the reasons for the rate cut and the outlook of the economy.
U.S. tariffs and trade uncertainty have weakened the Canadian economy. We expect very modest growth through the rest of the year, with some pickup in 2026. Second, while this weakness is restraining price increases, the trade conflict is also adding costs for many businesses, putting upward pressure on inflation. We expect these opposing forces to roughly offset, keeping inflation close to the 2% target. And third, to support the economy through this period of adjustment, we have lowered our policy rate by 50 basis points over the last two meetings and by 100 basis points since the start of the year.
Now we spoke to investment advisor Alan Small about the challenges Canada's economy is facing right now.
We need to match what they're doing in the United States. You know, for the longest time, we used to say our brothers to the U.S. Well, unfortunately, that relationship has gone a little bit south. And yes, I think there will be a trade deal done between Canada and the U.S. What that deal will look like, I'm not sure. But the Prime Minister himself has said that tariffs are here to stay. And the environment that we once had with the United States, the relationship with the U.S. has changed probably forever going forward. So we need to take care of our backyard. And that means cutting interest rates, maybe even cutting taxes, but making it good, making it better, making it a place that businesses want to come to for business.
And the next interest rate decision, that's set for December 10th.
Well, the Raptors, they're playing. They haven't been playing great. They should be glad the Blue Jays are making this run. They host the Houston Rockets in NBA action tonight.
Backing in on Harper. Here's Barrett right to the iron with a two-handed slam over top. Biombo.
And the Raptors coming off a 121-103 loss to the Spurs. That was on Monday. They're looking to snap a three-game losing streak. So the Raptors, they're tied with five other Eastern Conference teams with a 1-3 record. Tip-off tonight at 6:30.
Still early. It's 5:27, 11 degrees. You're watching Live at 5.
And we are live inside Dodger Stadium in L.A. This as we count down to the first pitch of Game 5 of the World Series. The Fall Classic is tied at 2 games each. Trey Savage is going to be on the mound tonight for the Jays. We're going to take you live to L.A. That's next.
Fans getting ready for Game 5 of the World Series. Jays, Dodgers all tied up at 2 games apiece. We'll go field level with Raheem Ladani in moments.
And our live coverage continues right here at home at the Rogers Center. This is where the biggest watch party in town is happening.
And in other news, a shelter-in-place order for Port Colborne and Niagara has now been lifted. Police have found the suspect they're looking for. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan is there, and we'll chat.
This is Live at 5.
Good evening. I'm Phil Perkins.
I'm Bakari Savage. Welcome to Live at 5. A manhunt in Port Colborne. It's over after residents were asked to stay inside and lock their doors. This for a good part of the day.
Yeah, let's go live to CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan with the latest on this. So tell us more about it, the finding of this suspect and how this all started.
Well, some great police work and great community cooperation, that's for sure. So we just learned that this now accused Brady Neff has been arrested just a short distance from we are right now, which is on Mitchell Street in Port Colborne. He was arrested at 3 p.m. without incident, and we now hear that it is a homicide investigation. Believe that the homicide occurred the street over on Ferris. The police were called there early this morning at 6 a.m. as a result of what they found over there. They had the area here on Mitchell Street, which is one street over. They had people shelter in place in this area, and the tactical team spent a considerable amount of the morning. We're showing you B-roll of that right now. Considerable amount of the morning out front of an address here on Mitchell Street, the armored car, and they were the police were on a loudspeaker talking to this guy Brady, saying, "Brady, you are under arrest. You need to surrender yourself." At 1 p.m., the tactical team were able to breach the door, and he wasn't there. There was nobody in that place. They swept it, and then they left. And shortly after they left, Niagara Police released his photo saying that Brady Neff was wanted for a weapons charge, and at 3 p.m. he was arrested. Now we're showing you his photo right now. That was released by Niagara Police. Now we hear that it is a homicide investigation, guys.
Okay, so Steve, along with this homicide investigation, we got to talk about how we got here.
Yeah, again, I think it has to do a lot with police work, good police work, and has a lot to do with the cooperation from the community. So the police responded to a call one street over on Fair Street, as I was saying earlier this morning, and clearly they found that to be a homicide scene. We had heard that third hand, Bakari, but that wasn't confirmed. We just knew that it was a crime scene, and that was cordoned off with police tape, and it brought the police to one street over here on Mitchell, and they believe that this man, who they believed was armed and dangerous, was in the home, and this is why the tactical team was called, and they spent a considerable amount of the morning trying to talk him out if, in fact, he was in there, and then when they got no response, they decided to breach that entry themselves, and they swept that home. There was nobody in there, and that's when they released his photo saying that he was wanted for a firearms charge. Now that he's in custody, we learn it is now a homicide investigation.
And Steve, this is the second time people living in Niagara region, I know it's a big part of the province, but this is the second time in the last couple of weeks people have been told to stay in their houses and lock their doors. This is the second time you've been to Niagara region for something similar to this. What are people in the area saying?
Well, in this neighborhood here, they all know one another. So everybody that I spoke with today knew of this guy, and they knew of his history. But to your point about the second time in Niagara in the last week or so, crime has no boundaries, clearly. It goes wherever there are people. And we're seeing some good police work in all parts of the GTA and Southern Ontario. And again, some good police work by Niagara region. Just watching the professionalism today with this TAC team, methodically going into that home, clearing the home, and when they left, we all felt confident that he wasn't there because the police had been in there, and then following up with leads, cooperation from the community led them to a spot just down the street from where we are right now, and that's where they arrested this guy without incident. Now remember, he was armed and dangerous, so this neighborhood was certainly on edge, being told to shelter in place while the police looked for this person, and now that they found him, everybody here in this neighborhood is breathing a sigh of relief.
Okay, live in Port Colborne, CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan. Thanks, Steve. Okay, it's 5:34. Let's get a check on the evening commute with CP24's traffic specialist Adjoa Ntiayaboa.
Yeah, Bakari, we have some major problems in Chopper 24 up and over the scene of a pretty serious collision that happened in Scarborough. So Chopper 24 over the scene of this collision. It's impacting Birchmount, which is closed both ways between Ellesmere and Laura Secord Walk. No traffic getting by. Just checking to see. It looks like it's two vehicles involved in this. So if that is your route, it's pretty busy route if you're trying to make your way around and get through. There are all alternatives in place to get you by. But again, this area of Birchmount, which is closed both ways between Ellesmere and Laura Secord, following pretty serious collision. Take you to the major routes where we are dealing with major problems as well. This is the 401 if you're traveling on the eastbound side, just making your way through Nielsen. It looks like it's the 4 left lanes that are blocked with this collision. Actually, the 3 center lanes are blocked, so the left and the right lane are getting by. Severe backups from before Dixie, then westbound on the 401 delays from Warden out towards Weston. We're in the Express long-standing collision. Still there blocking the 2 left lanes, and we still have problems on the northbound 427. This is just north of Derry Rexdale. You'll find the center lane blocked following a collision as well. Outside of camera view, southbound 400 up at Lloydtown, Aurora Road, just a stalled vehicle, and it's blocking the right lane. I'll send it back to you both.
Adjoa, thank you very much. Let's go to a place with maybe worse traffic than Toronto. That is Los Angeles. The World Series will be decided in Toronto now. That is after a massive Game 4 victory for the Blue Jays against the Dodgers. We're all tied up at 2 games apiece, forcing at least a Game 6 at the Rogers Center. But before we get there, we got to talk about Game 5 at Dodger Stadium.
Okay, let's go live to CTV's Raheem Ladani, who's inside Dodger Stadium in LA. Okay, Raheem, I need to know what you're hearing from people, both Dodgers and Blue Jays fans, while you're on the ground there, because I understand you veered away from Dodger Stadium, took a little bit of a tour around the city, huh?
Hey, Bakari, yeah, we've been in and around LA, and it's funny how the narrative has changed, right? Before the World Series started, it was like, oh, the Dodgers will win in 4. Maybe a gentleman's sweep. Jays will lose in 5. But now, after the series has shifted to LA, after we've seen a few more games, people are saying, oh, this Blue Jays team, they're pretty good, aren't they, right? It's shifted from a David and Goliath matchup to a Goliath versus Goliath heavyweight. There's no doubt that the LA Dodgers had the Toronto Blue Jays on the ropes yesterday. They were trying to put them on the mat, but what did the Blue Jays do? They countered with an uppercut, and it was a big uppercut that came in the form of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That home run in the third inning was a defining point in Game 4 yesterday because it was Vladdy, it was Shohei, it gave the Jays the lead 2-1, and it took the home crowd out of the game. For the Toronto Blue Jays, they're very happy because the mindset coming here to LA had to be win one, force the series down to back to home to Toronto. What they have done now is they've earned themselves an opportunity to get back to Toronto up 3-2, something that was not the case in the ALCS against the Seattle Mariners. Remember, against the Mariners, they had to go and win 2 in Toronto. Toronto, imagine how the Blue Jays would feel right now going back home to YYZ up 3-2. But in order to do that, they have to get by the LA Dodgers. And the LA Dodgers right now on the field right now is a very workman-like attitude. You're seeing a lot of serious faces, not too serious. I mean, they're still playing loose, but they know what's at stake here. They do not want to go back to Toronto down 3-2. For the Dodgers to have success, they're going to have to play really well against Trey Yesavage, the 22-year-old rookie who's on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. They've now seen him once. Keep that in mind, right? It's not the first time, like a lot of teams, when they see Trey, they have a lot of struggles against him. They've now seen him once before in the Game 1 of the World Series. And Dave Roberts, the bench boss of the LA Dodgers, spoke about that a short while ago. Have a listen to what he's saying.
I think at-bat quality is not just pitches, it's hitting mistakes. And so I do think that the first time through, the at-bat quality was good as far as kind of gathering information. But I think in total, 2 times through the order, there were a lot of pitches that we missed. And so that kind of takes away from bat quality, and that's the second time through. So we've seen them. We're prepared, and then so now it's kind of 9 guys coming together, being ready to hunt mistakes, and when you get a mistake, then be willing to be ready to do something with it, and continue to fight. But it's not just Shohei, it's not Freddie, it's all, collective. 9 guys got to do their jobs.
And Phil, I know earlier you were asking about the status of George Springer. We still don't have a definitive answer yet, but yes, he was on the field running. He did take some swings. It's still hour to hour right now. What we do know is that his status will determine whether Bo Bichette plays second or DHs. One thing we do know, Addison Barger, either way, will be in the lineup. Reporting live here in Los Angeles, California, Raheem Ladani. I'll send it back to you both.
Thank you very much, Raheem. Yeah, we're still waiting for that Blue Jays lineup. The Dodgers have their lineup all posted. They've switched things up a little bit. They got Will Smith batting second, and Mookie Betts, who hasn't been hot, knock on wood, he is now batting third. We'll see how that all plays out. But there is another watch party going on, and some might think if you just saw footage of the inside of the Rogers Center, you would think it's a home game, but it's not.
Okay, CP24, CJ Liu has been talking to fans about how they're feeling heading into tonight's Game 5 after last night's victory. Okay, CJ, paint the picture.
Hey, Bakari and Phil, if you can't get tickets to go to LA, the next best thing is to come down here to Rogers Center for the watch party. This is the biggest party in town for the Jays, and guess what? It only costs $15. Unfortunately, all the tickets are sold out, but in just a couple of hours, Rogers Center is going to be filled with thousands of fans ready to cheer on the Jays, and they're feeling great, especially after yesterday's comeback win. And we have been meeting lots of cool people, including Sherry and Shauna here. They had the biggest smiles, taking some cute photos with all the Jays set up here. Guys, how are you feeling heading into Game 5 today? Especially, it's been an up and down for us. Game 3, 18 innings, and then we came back yesterday.
We're doing it. We're taking it in 6. I said it since the beginning because we have Addison Barger, handsome guy, helping Vladdy and all the guys. So, no, we got this in 6. We're taking tonight, and they're going to come home and make us so proud like Joe Carter did in '93, which I was here for that.
That's amazing. So how does it feel now, 32 years later, having the World Series back in Toronto? And like you said, you were here for the first time.
It's amazing, and we deserve it. This team has worked so hard. Last place last year, and they just made amazing trades and changes. And Vladdy is the leader. His heart and soul is in this team, and it just pulling Toronto and this country together, and it's really amazing.
So amazing. What has been your game plan the last 3 days? Because we had 3 games in 3 days. You told me you stayed up until 3 in the morning. Yep. What's been the game plan to keep your energy going?
It's just go Jays go. Like, it's been 32 years. So it's so exciting, and you can't help but have that energy. It's so contagious, and we just want the best for the guys. They're doing such an amazing job, right? Like, they're just doing it all, and how can you not be pumped for them?
It's the default here. Well, thanks so much, ladies. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the rest of the night. And you can feel that energy even if you aren't inside Rogers Center right now. We have the home run horn here. You can come by here anytime before 8 o'clock. They are giving away free merch. There have been long lines as well for shirts, for hats, and it's a party, even just right outside of Rogers Center. The whole city is lit up. There are blue balloons everywhere. And inside Rogers Center, it's going to be a sold-out crowd in just a couple of hours. There will be concession stands, popcorn. It'll feel like a real game. Really the next best thing after going to LA and watching the game in person. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it's all about that free popcorn. They do stop serving it once it gets to like the 15th inning, though. We know that. It's crazy out there. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. CJ Lou, thanks so much. Let's go to LA right now. Blue Jays manager John Schneider speaking. Maybe he'll let us know who's in the lineup.
How do you view the idea of protection with him? Like, is it guys ahead of him in the order getting on base so that they can't intentionally walk him, or is it guys behind him to create that threat of damage?
I think it's both. You know, you try to build a lineup to where, you know, guys will be on base for certain guys, and then what is their offensive profile like? Is it contact? Is it damage? I think Vlad is going to be pitched how Vlad is going to be pitched no matter who's in front or behind him. And guys have done a good job of getting on for him. So that's kind of how we view it. I think guys, you know, if it's Nate hitting in front of him or if it's Bo hitting, whoever's hitting in front of him, I think they understand that they're probably going to get something to hit, you know what I mean? Because he's standing on deck, and then it is kind of important who's behind him too, you know what I mean? So we've seen the bat be taken out of his hands. So you got to have guys that can do some stuff behind him.
Bit further to your right, Shai.
Hey, John.
Hey.
A couple things. First, with Vladdy, the ability that he's shown throughout the postseason to not chase damage, not try to force a moment, but just be patient. How have you seen that evolve for him? The ability to just kind of hunt the pitch and get it and not try to expand to try and create something.
I think that he's always kind of been that kind of hitter, you know, and this postseason has been pretty remarkable in terms of power and strikeouts, you know, lack of strikeouts and not a lack of power, you know, so I think it's a good hitter being in a good rhythm, you know. There's always a fine line with, I feel like a lot of people think of Vlad and they think of home runs. You know, I think of Vlad and I think of a hitter that hits the ball so hard he's going to hit it out of the ballpark. So when he's at his best, that's what he's doing.
And last time Tommy Edman hit right-handed against Trey as opposed to left-handed, just what do you read into that, and how does that maybe change game planning for him? Because you're obviously assuming he's going to be left-handed, but then he's turning around.
Yeah, we weren't sure. I know he's done that before in his career against some righties with kind of similar pitch profile and pitch mix. So we weren't sure what he was going to do. We kind of had a plan A and a plan B. It doesn't change much, but I think it kind of changes where we're positioning everyone. You know what I mean? Because there's not that much, you know, batted ball data that says, you know, Tommy Edman versus righties. So you're trying to maneuver that as best you can too.
Up front of your left, John.
John, good to see you again.
Likewise.
Maury, the Roz and Mocha Show. We've talked so many times about how incredible Blue Jays fans are, but I didn't know if you knew this, and I want to get your take on this. It is so awesome that back in Toronto, upwards of 30,000 fans are going to Rogers Center to watch the games on the big screen, and there's the roar of the crowd every time you guys do something awesome. What is your take on how cool that is?
It's pretty remarkable, you know. I've seen the videos, and it's nice that we have a dome, and it's, you know, not raining or cold, but to see that, well, I mean, we feel that, you know what I mean? We feel that out here in LA, you know, just we understand what it means to the city and the country, and I think it's just remarkable. You know, there's watch parties, and then there's watch parties, you know. That was awesome. You know, we're thrilled that we're going back there to play. You know, we still got to focus on tonight's game, but the fans kind of become a part of you know, and you want to kind of do that for them too.
We'll stay here with Daniel.
Thank you. Hi, John.
Hey.
That's John Schneider speaking with reporters saying that George Springer, they're saying there's a definite chance he can contribute off the bench, so probably not starting. Springer has made some significant progress with that lower back soreness. I mean, he's 36. Like, picking up a can of pop can hurt your muscles, so it's good to see he's making significant progress. He's had some big moments, obviously, in the playoffs. If he can contribute in a huge Game 5, it'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, we're just over 2 hours away from the first pitch. It's 5:47, 11 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, we'll have the latest on reports that the U.S. ambassador to Canada lashing out at Ontario's trade rep at an event this week.
A man from Ajax has been arrested in a double shooting in Etobicoke.
It happened a month ago near Rexdale Boulevard in Islington. 2 men were shot, both still alive. Police say the Guns and Gangs Task Force took a suspect into custody yesterday, and a firearm was located. 28-year-old Mohammed Sharef is facing over a dozen charges.
And one person's in hospital. One is under arrest. This is after a stabbing at Bathurst and Queen.
Yeah, it happened around 4:30. Police say a female was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Another female was arrested at the scene. The investigation by police is ongoing. Also, some drama here across the border, not involving our premier or the president of the United States. U.S. Ambassador to Canada, Pete Hoekstra, reportedly lashing out at Ontario's trade rep at an event in Ottawa earlier this week.
The sources tell CTV News that there was, quote, an unpleasant exchange between Hoekstra and Trade Representative David Patterson. This was on Monday. They say that the ambassador hurled insults and swore over Ontario's anti-tariff ad, which ran in American markets. So President Trump called off trade negotiations with Ottawa because of the commercial before announcing an additional 10% tariff on Canada for not immediately pulling the ad.
And Premier Doug Ford is calling on Ambassador Hoekstra to apologize and defended his decision to run the ad.
The intention wasn't to go poke the president in the eye. My intention was to get a conversation going, wake up the Democrats a little bit down there. And my goodness, it woke them up all right. And they're still talking about it on CNN. But I saw a poll on CNN that Canada is way more popular than the president with the American people. We love Americans. I'll tell you, we don't love President Trump. I'll tell you that.
Well, CTV News political commentator Scott Reed says that the incident shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone.
Important for Ambassador Hoekstra to be seen as swearing and cursing and losing his temper, because he wants the president of the United States, his boss, to see that that's how he's conducting himself, because that's what it takes to get approval from the boss in this upside down, backwards world in which we live, now led by Donald Trump. So I'm disappointed. I think it's despairing in many ways, but it shouldn't surprise any of us. This is how the Trump White House administration, this is how Trump world works.
Well, CTV News reached out to the U.S. Embassy in Canada, but officials say they're going to decline to comment.
Auto workers held a protest outside the Stellantis plant in Brampton this morning.
Solidarity!
2 weeks ago, Stellantis announced production of its Jeep Compass would be moving from Brampton to Illinois, impacting around 3,000 people. Unifor members have ratified a new collective agreement with Stellantis in 2023 based on its promise to retool the Brampton plant to facilitate work on the Compass. The company put that work on pause in February after U.S. President Donald Trump launched his tariff campaign against Canada.
This plant supports an entire community. It's not just the members here. We keep talking about 3,000 jobs. The reality is that the impact, the broader economy, is more like 15 or 20,000 jobs. There's a lot of people that have been working here for generations and generations.
It's a desperate time, and it would be beneficial for the general public to understand that there's many spin-off jobs will be lost that are associated with jobs that come from this plant and jobs in the greater community. So we're looking for the support of the community. We're looking to have the government step up with some more support. We're hearing a lot of words from the government, but we're not seeing a lot of action.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Doug Ford have said that they have been given assurances by Stellantis that the Brampton auto plant, it will continue operations in the future.
It's 5:53, feels like 11. You're watching Live at 5.
And fans are gathering around the city and across the country to watch the Jays take on the Dodgers in Game 5 of the World Series. Here's a live look at the watch party that's going to be happening at Nathan Phillips Square. We're going to have more Jays coverage coming up. Blue Jays fans are also going to be gathering at Nathan Phillips Square tonight to watch their team try and move a little closer to the World Series title.
For more on this, teeing this outdoor watch party up, CP24's Andrew Brennan. Andrew, yes, it's a bit chilly out there, so these are definitely going to be the diehard fans hitting this up.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That whooping, by the way, is not a fan, but that's okay. We have some excitement here because we have Jose Alberto, who's gotten a front row seat. Look at you! You're your own rally. You're doing you're basically your own cheerleader. I love this. So why did you want to get a front row seat?
Oh, used to be here in front watching with all the people. You know, it's the fifth game. So
yeah.
It's gonna be fantastic today.
Well, speaking of fantastic, we were just chatting really fast beforehand. So
we want to win.
We're going to win. So what do we need to win? The correct answer, by the way, is Alejandro Kirk doing a great job, right?
Exactly. Alejandro Kirk. That is the best player.
Well, I know because you and I were talking before, so I know you were born in Mexico. By the way, Alejandro Kirk is the first Mexican-born player to ever homer in the World Series. He has 2 now, by the way. But you feel a little, a little bit of pride, a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah, a lot of pride. In Mexico is second. Between first the football, soccer, and then there's the baseball. Yeah.
So now you get to be front row for this. You ready to go?
I'm ready. Are you?
Well, we're here, right? Yeah. All right. Actually, let's get ready. Let's get ready. Excuse me. Let's go Blue Jays?
Let's go Blue Jays.
Dun, 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 dun. Back to you.
So, Andrew, also, what else is on tap for the watch party? I heard DJs, maybe some trivia.
Some prizes, stuff like that.
Andrew?
Right now, Muskoka chairs.
Yeah.
I believe there will be a DJ. There's a DJ booth over there. Honestly, the most important thing is your friends. That's what's in store.
Okay. Yeah. And you got that guy. It seems like fun. For sure. Alejandro Kirk, also him hitting another home run would be great. He is on fuego right now. And so that would be great to do that. And then, get up 3-2, heading to Game 6 in Toronto. No more watch parties. The watch party will be at the Rogers Center. But I guess, actually, you know what? There probably still will be a watch party at Nathan Phillips Square.
There will still
Halloween.
be watch parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so just double checking.
Listen, we all can't afford $4,000 tickets.
This is true.
Yeah, just double checking. This is free. All people need to do is just show up, right? No reservations.
This is free. This is free.
That's what it's about. All right.
All right, CP24's Andrew Brennan live at Nathan Phillips Square. It's 5:59, 11 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news. CP24.
Yes, thanks for watching. CTV News at 6 is next. The Rogers Center, we're coming back Friday, Halloween. Woo, spooky.